Hi, we're Adomi, and we help homeowners monetize their largest asset. So I think we can all agree that homeowners these days have a lot of financial concerns. Take Sarah and Tyler, for example. They're a recently married couple who just purchased their first home in Los Angeles. And even though they both work full-time jobs, they find it tough to get ahead. The mortgage is a burden. They have other family members to take care of. And on top of all this, it makes it seem like retirement is never going to be an option for them. Through the grapevine, they heard about this amazing new concept of accessory dwelling units, which are secondary housing units that you can place in your own backyard and rent for income. Not only are ADUs financially beneficial for homeowners, they're great for the state of California, as Governor Jerry Brown and his team have stated that ADUs could be the potential solution to the housing shortage that we are all currently facing. Sarah and Tyler were elated at the idea of having this beautiful revenue-generating unit right in their backyard. They thought, wow, this sounds great. We put down a few $1,000s, build this ADU, and in a few months, we'll be making money. But wait, let's be realistic. Construction is not for everyone. It's messy. If Sarah and Tyler were to undergo the traditional build process, this is what 2 months of progress would look like. Sarah and Tyler would have put down $50,000 just to take care of design, permit, and framing, and then their contractors would have to tell them that it's going to cost another $100,000 to finish this process. What Sarah and Tyler would not have realized is that this process is complicated. It's expensive. It's time-consuming. On top of all these factors, they have to deal with permitting, taking care of the city planning department's rules. Then you have to work with managing the actual property. Then you have construction crews coming in and out, which inevitably leads to noise. Then you have contractors also coming in and out. And then you have inspectors giving you hassle, telling you that now there's going to be delays. This whole process leaves homeowners feeling stressed, anxious, exhausted. Homeowners like Sarah and Tyler are wishing there's a better way. There has to be a better way. Fortunately, there is. I'd like to introduce you to Adomi, where we replace all the stress, all the hassle with peace of mind. We are the one-stop shop brokerage firm that takes care of the entire ADU process at absolutely no cost to the homeowner. And here's how it works. First, we pre-screen the property to ensure that ADU eligibility, or the property is eligible for ADU construction. We then work with our standard blueprints to design and work with city planning departments to ensure that the permitting process goes smoothly. We then build the ADU in a prefab manufacturing facility, off-site from the home, to ensure that we limit the amount of time, hassle, and noise that actually occurs on the client's property. After that, we install the finished product seamlessly in the homeowner's backyard. During this entire process, we are working with established property management firms to ensure that we have a queue of qualified tenants to place in the ADU. And after the ADU is installed on day one, we're able to place a tenant in there. This entire process, from eligibility to property management, takes less than 90 days with Adomi, cutting traditional build time by more than half. Not only are we able to substantially cut build time, we're able to offer homeowners $11,000 a year at absolutely no cost, no stress, no anxiety to them. The way Adomi makes money is by sharing in the remaining portion of rental revenue with our investors and ourselves. Now I'm going to pass it off to Salek to tell you why right now is the perfect time for Adomi to execute its business model.
Ryan is absolutely correct. Right now is the perfect time for us to penetrate the accessory dwelling unit market. California is facing a housing shortage. In fact, California ranks dead last in housing production per capita. On top of that, 33% of income is being spent on mortgage. And over the past 5 years, income has stayed the exact same while mortgage continues to rise. These two market trends couple with our market size of $160 million. This is composed of 20,000 units in San Francisco and Los Angeles alone. As we expand, we hope to go to other parts of California and at some point, the nation. This is how we plan on getting there. In August of 2017, our focus was on the proof of concept and really understanding the pain points involved with ADUs. In January of 2018, we began market validation, composing of over 100 customer interviews, including architects, homeowners, construction workers, and real estate agents. From May 2018 into the summer, we will be incubating our business idea, bootstrapping $25,000 and really focusing on web development and the legalities. In September of 2018 into the next year, we will be doing an initial 5-location test in California, focusing on being as efficient as possible with our ADU development. This will require $250,000 of capital. The way we plan on going to market is through Airbnb hosts, as these individuals are incredibly comfortable with home sharing. We're confident that we can help them further maximize their real estate value. Our revenue projection by year 5 is $27 million, and from year 1 to year 2, we will need $800,000 of equity raise. In order to reach our $27 million goal, we will need to vertically integrate and take different parts of the supply chain, which includes having our own property management firm, as well as our own prefab manufacturing facility. We also have the exact team to bring this product to the market, starting off with Vahan Gazarian. He built an accessory dwelling unit in his parents' backyard the hard way. He had to deal with the permitting, the design, the build, all by himself, and his terrible time serves as the inspiration for why we want to create a better experience for homeowners. With Vahan, myself, Tomi, and Ryan, we have expertise in sales, marketing, design, and real estate valuation. We also have an external team that have expertise in business operations, real estate brokerage, and on-site analysis. We haven't been able to get here on our own. We've had incredible help with a mentor named Brian Coriat. He's a part of the Santa Barbara Angel Alliance, and he's been instrumental. He's had 25 years of experience as a successful entrepreneur, and he's really helped us tailor our business model to be attractive to investors. On the architectural side, we've had help from Suzette Naylor, who's part of Thompson Naylor Architects. Their focus is on having green architectural designs and being environmentally conscious. With her help, we're very excited to bring that green, environmentally conscious mentality into our accessory dwelling units. Let's take it back to the story, Sarah and Tyler. What if they had used Adomi from the start? Well, instead of being $50,000 in debt, they would have had an accessory dwelling unit in their backyard generating income for them so that they could focus on what really matters: mortgage, retirement, and taking care of their family members. Adomi today is a real estate brokerage firm, but in the future, we plan on taking the entire supply chain and providing homeowners accessory dwelling units in under 6 weeks. If there's one thing I can leave you all with today, is that Adomi, in all of its endeavors, consistently strives to build peace of mind. Thank you.
Nice work, guys. Josh, you want to start us off?
Yeah, so I love this idea. I had many different angles that are great about this. Congratulations, it's very well researched, and I like how organized and complete your financials look and your projections. Why do you, and I'm not sure if you are, but I'm gonna just ask, why do you want to be in the landlord-tenant management business? Because it's typically like a nightmare, and there's huge unexpected costs, and it's distracting, and can you explain that to me?
Yes, we'd love to explain that to you. Tomi, would you like to take that question?
Of course. Thanks, Vahan. Thank you for asking. So the reason we want to get into this business actually is, in the beginning, we're going to have asset managers who will manage the leases. So we won't directly be handling that. Later down the line, throughout the process, we will then move into that space as we are able to really take hold of the business.
I see. So it's not the initial plan to deal with a tenant complaining about a chicken in the backyard and, okay.
No, sir.
Got it.
Okay. I'm also a fan of this idea, and I'm very, very familiar with modulars and ADUs. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Let's start with one similar to his. Why do you want to be in the manufacturing business? the prefab manufacturing business?
That's a great question. So the manufacturing business today, we would have a partner that we would be contracting with. So we would have a part of their capacity, because after speaking to a few of them, we understand they're not operating at full capacity. And so going into the future, once we have collected enough data and understood the process ourselves and how to make it better, we hope we can then move into that space to capture a larger margin or part of that supply chain.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you that Hallcrest and Silvercrest and Hallmark and Cavco right now would hire you guys as marketing agents to create a market for them. Because that is exactly what they're looking for, is they don't know how to do the front end of it. So I would encourage you to think about partnerships that already exist that would put you in the market today. And so then the other question I had about your model, if I understand it, you're going to get real estate sponsors and investors to help finance these units, and then the owners are going to use this as a money-making thing. So let's say right now I'm not making very much money and I need that money-making thing. But hey, I get older and I make more money and I go, I don't need that money-making thing anymore. How do I get out of the deal?
I'm glad you asked. So the homeowner, over the course of the 25 years, has the option to buy the ADU at any point in time. At the end of the 25 years, the ADU is theirs to keep. Now, the way we factor this buyout is given to the homeowner at day one, so they know at any point in time throughout the period at what cost to them it'll be.
So it's just like a mortgage with payoff.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
John?
I love the idea of Airbnb starting there. I think that's a great idea. It sounds like you talked to a lot of homeowners in your market validation. What else did you learn from them about who likes ADUs, who doesn't like ADUs?
Sure. So thank you for that question. So over the course of the past 6 months, we've conducted over 200 market interviews. So from what we learned from homeowners, the biggest thing that we learned is that they actually love the idea of accessory dwelling units. With Airbnb, we know that homeowners are comfortable with the sharing economy, at least the ones on Airbnb. But the biggest reason they can't do accessory dwelling units right now is because they can't pay for it. So with our creative financial model, we found a way to bring accessory dwelling units to homeowners at scale. Did that answer your question, or I could clarify?
Yeah, that's great. What about, I guess one risk you have potentially is legislative risk, right? Someone could, Jerry Brown could not get elected next term, and someone could decide they don't like ADUs, and there's a better solution. Obviously, there's a huge societal problem that it's solving, so that's a great thing. But how do you, as an investor, how would I, justify that risk?
I'd love to answer that question, John. So today, the political climate is very pro-ADU, with Governor Jerry Brown, with California and the state as a whole. If in the rare circumstance that was supposed to change in the future, we hope by that period we would have established ourselves and executed our business plan in the areas that we're looking to execute as we penetrate the market. And by that time, we hope we would have the capital to kind of reintegrate ourselves as we capture different parts of the supply chain, as we mentioned before, to kind of move into and be a little more flexible of a company.
I guess last question, that was good, thanks, that was a great answer. Last question, you didn't talk too much about competitors and defensible. It seems like, obviously there's lots of manufactured home suppliers out there. How do you feel you have a moat that's defensible?
So we have two types of competitors. One that exists today, their name is Dweller. The difference between us and Dweller is that they're operating out of the Portland, Oregon area. After speaking to one of their executives, they're only looking to move into parts of Wisconsin and kind of expanding into parts of Oregon. So their market is not necessarily California. As of today, they've only done 2 ADUs. On the other side, when we look at large real estate, commercial real estate developers, their business models are more focused on one large building that has multiple units, not really scaling into the residential space. And so we hope that in the time that we have as a first mover in California and Los Angeles and San Francisco, that would give us a big advantage to execute our model.
So kind of brand, you're hoping to build a brand that would
Definitely.
defensible.
Stuart?
You know, I want to put on my short skirt and pom-poms and cheer because I like this idea, but this looks like, I mean, the difficulty of extracting value looks like a bear trap laced ATM. So, I mean, you spent the first time talking about the complexity. This is very complex.
Definitely.
You got to deal with banks financing. You have to deal with contractors, the local government in every municipality, and renters. I mean, that's the trifecta I mean, I don't know what hell looks like, but that. So how do you navigate that? I mean, you know, just take our cities, Santa Barbara, Goleta, Montecito. And how do you navigate that?
So I'd love to answer that question. I think it's a two-part question.
I would love for you too.
That then I think Tommy can jump into a little more of the financials. We're not necessarily reinventing the wheel. We're taking two successful business models. One was Solar City's home appreciation model, and the other being the REIT model with large single-family management. So we're taking two models that have proven to work in the past and combining both of them. And Tommy will explain how the finances kind of, I hope that answers your question in the first part, but.
Well, but you still have to deal with every municipality has to approve these dwellings, right?
Right, so because we're working with manufacturing facilities, city municipality inspectors are not the ones inspecting us on, in the sites. It's actually state inspectors. So as long as we follow the codes determined by the municipalities, the state would approve us in one space.
Yeah, but Mabel next door doesn't want me to have a house next door.
So the nice thing about California really making it entirely legal for the state is that this is something that the government is pulling for. In fact, Los Angeles as a city has spent money in developing accessory dwelling units, upward of like $15 to $20 million. And we want to work with community members, not against. We're really confident that because we're building in a prefab manufacturing facility, really decreasing the amount of noise that comes with it, being able to ship it there, it's really ultimately a kit. So because we're using prefab technology, the construction process becomes a lot easier for the contractors as well.
So when you sell the home, what happens to the dwelling, to the second, third owner?
Yeah, so when the home is sold, similar to the depreciation model that we mentioned earlier, we will take back the money that is owed to us at that point in time on sale. The ADU has appreciated the value of the home, so there will be the value there, the difference. Now, if the homeowner doesn't want to pay us out, they can negotiate with the new buyer to continue on with the lease.
But it's not an obligation of the new buyer to take it on?
No.
Okay, so you're just going to wrap the mortgage, is what you're really going to do. Because when they come in and do a new appraisal for the property that the ADU is on, the appraiser is going to appraise the entire property. They're going to put a new mortgage on. It just wraps the mortgages, and it does pay them off, Stuart, I think. Too.
Exactly.
I think one thing you are missing, though, in your answer is that even though modular units are built to a standard that here in California, most of the municipalities are forced to accept, you still have to deal with the permitting in every jurisdiction. And so that is going to turn you into planners, you know, to help the homeowner.
And therefore, I'd say what your team is missing is a legal team. My fifth favorite thing.
With that, we're out of time. So great job, Adomi. And so we are going to start with our Impact Award, and I'm going to introduce Cheryl and John Gerngross because they sponsored this award.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Hello, everybody. It's really exciting to be here, and it's really stimulating to see all the brilliance in this room. We're really impressed with all the creativity and discipline and hard work that's gone behind all of these presentations, and it really gave us a lot to think about. Cheryl and I are sponsoring the Impact Award this year because we want to provide an incentive and a reward for students to create ventures that are for the public good. Profitability is not our primary goal or motive. We're not looking for the hockey stick growth charts. We're looking for helping the public good. It could be something environmental, it could be something social, but it does have to be a sustainable business model. So you gave us a lot to think about. We were debating this up to the last second, and I'll turn this over to Cheryl to give you the results.
Oh, the results. Okay. The results are, John and I were back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I wanted this and he wanted that, but we decided to split it. And the split is more solar and Adomi. But wait 1 minute.
You want to give them this one? One of the times that we're going to do? Okay.
But really the reason why behind it is there's only really two reasons why behind the impact. The more solar was really the environment issue and saving energy, and the other one was really to helping the housing market and people that can't afford homes.
Thank you. This has been a great opportunity to get involved, and I'm certainly glad I don't have to make any choice. I'm presenting the People's Choice Awards, and you all voted. So we have two winners. They split it. We have Soilite and Adomi. Pick one. You can have both of them. All right. I knew we would do it. Hey, all right. Guys, you did it again. You did it again.
We got both. Thank you so much, Michael.
You guys, sharply. I was betting Brian. I said to you guys, tightest business plan. Good job.
All right, cool.
You too.
149. This is for Jason Stevens.
Okay. And Tall and Ian, come on up. So we'll do these sort of in succession, so we've already ruined the mystery here. Okay, so second place winner goes to Adomi, which makes first place more solar.
We're on this side.
Okay, one more pose, okay? Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations. Congratulations. You did it.
All right, well, that will conclude it. Oh, by the way, everybody, we're going to hand out, would you make sure they get the right speakers for everybody? Yes. Okay, before they go?
But before you guys go, I think we just need to give Dave one more round of applause for everything he's done this year. Big round of applause.